Hello, my friends. My name is Harold, and welcome to the Sanctum. We shall be moving on to the next zodiac sign in the series, which is the zodiac sign of Scorpio. Alright, so first of all, just like I begin every single one of these videos on the zodiac signs, if I'm talking about a particular sign, in this case Scorpio, and you find yourself to be a Scorpio, I'm not necessarily talking about you if your sun sign is Scorpio. I'm talking about the archetypal energy of Scorpio itself. So if you're a Scorpio, this may or may not necessarily be referring to you because you've got all the signs somewhere in your chart. But if you tend to have your sun, moon, or rising in Scorpio, you may find yourself identifying with some of these particular qualities that I'm sharing with today. So, first of all, as we know, each sign is ruled by a particular planet, and of course, Scorpio is ruled by the planet Mars. Just like Aries is also ruled by the planet Mars, Scorpio too has that martial type energy. However, in modern astrology, there is a second planet that is associated with Scorpio as well, and that is Pluto, which is, of course, the furthest planet in our solar system, and it is the planet of extremes. Um, and and you shall notice, or you will notice, as I begin to describe to you and give you more information on the zodiac sign of Scorpio, how this planet has a part here as well. So first of all, it is the most intense signs. Scorpio is the most intense sign in the zodiac, and that corresponds to the idea of extremes that is reflected in being ruled by Pluto, right? So one very important aspect of Scorpio is that it rules death, right? It rules death, which is of course an extreme, right? So it's this is the second aspect when it comes to birth, death, and the in between plane in the zodiacs in the zodiac signs. So for example, when we spoke about Cancer, we spoke about birth and how Cancer, as the role of the mother, is rules over birth. And of course, right now we go to Scorpio, which is the end of that life, which is death. And now later on when we talk about Pisces, we shall be talking about the in between, the life between lives, which is associated with Pisces as well. And Scorpio is associated with the element of water, and it is fixed water. So for that reason, it can be a very adaptable sign, but also a very emotional sign. But it's a different form of emotional capability in comparison to Cancer, which we looked at. Cancer is very emotionally sensitive because it's cardinal water, whereas Scorpio is very emotionally intense because it's fixed water in that sense. For that reason, oftentimes the intensity of Scorpio is associated with all those things that might seem a bit scary in modern society, death being one of them, right? Because Scorpio, first of all, is a dark sign. What I mean dark is, I don't mean negative or evil, I mean opposite of light. To associate dark with evil is the same as associating, the day as good and night as bad. You can't do that. That's preposterous. How can the day be good and the night be bad? So in the same way, when I talk about Scorpio being more of dark energy, I'm not saying evil. I'm just saying a different pole of that which is light, right? And of course, light requires darkness to exist, and of course, light comes from the darkness, because if you remove all the light, what's left? Darkness. So in that way, it is the womb of creation itself. But anyway, I digress. Going back to the point, Scorpio rules secrets. right? That which is kept hidden, what we call the occult. Well, the word occult means hidden. That's what it means. That which is hidden, right? So it rules mysteries. It rules magic. Magic, as in not stage magic, not magic tricks, but real magic. It rules, of course, death is also one of those big secrets. That thing that nobody really knows about, that is kept veiled and hidden. Right? It's the same as if somebody dies. What do we do with the body? We want to get rid of it. We want to hide it from sight. We want to make it occult, make it hidden. Right? So in the same way, there is that association as well with Scorpio. It rules secrets, and of course, the body part that's associated with Scorpio are the genitals, right? Because also, if you think about it, the genitals are also that which you hide. Right? They're kept hidden, unless in very specific situations. But they're kept hidden because Scorpio rules sex, and of course, the genitals are that part of the body that is used during that particular process. So you can see now how this is all coming together when, of course, sex leads to birth, which in turn leads to death. So you can see how all this is related. Okay, so I think one of the main things to keep in your mind when you think about Scorpio energy is transformation. Scorpio is the sign of transformation. Now, Scorpio is the only sign that has 3 transformations, 3 forms, 3 levels of being. Okay, and that is what we call the scorpion, the snake or serpent, and the eagle or phoenix. Okay, so these are the 3 levels of Scorpio, the 3 transformations that a Scorpio can or may undergo. In its densest or lowest aspect is the scorpion. Now, if you look at the behavior of the scorpion, first of all, the scorpion's got an exoskeleton. It keeps itself strong and protected, and it's got a poisonous tail that it can use to protect itself, and this poison can harm others, right? So Scorpio can be very self-destructive, the energy of Scorpio, and for that reason, in trying to protect itself, it can harm those others around itself, right? But also at the same time, that exoskeleton represents an ego, a sense of I that wants to protect itself, that wants to preserve itself. But also, this is an actual thing. When a scorpion is cornered and it knows it can't win a fight, it'll take its poisonous tail and strike itself and kill itself. Hence why it's associated with self-destruction. Once again, death, but not just physical death, ego death. The death of one's ego is associated with Scorpio. Okay, so that is the base state of Scorpio. Very reactive in nature it can be. It can just shoot its poison out in that way. The base level. However, when the Scorpio tries to learn a little bit more about itself and tries to clear out the shadows in the closet, it can transform into its second aspect, which is the snake, the one who sheds its own skin, its old skin, to adopt a new. The snake, it still has a venom, it still has poison, but this poison can become an antidote. It can be a powerful healing remedy. Also, the snake is a famous symbol that is associated with healing. Now, if you look at the medical profession, the caduceus, the rod that is surrounded by 2 intertwined serpents, is a symbol of this healing, right? So for that reason, the snake is a symbol of healing as well. And it's also, in certain yogic traditions, it's associated with a symbol for the movement of Kundalini, which is of course a sexual form of energy, right? But it is also a healing energy. So this Scorpio that's now starting to look within and wants to learn about oneself and heal oneself undergoes this shedding of the skin of the snake. And for that reason, Scorpios tend to be amazing healers, or have some form of interest in healing and understanding about healing, and also healing oneself. So that is the second transformation of the Scorpio, the snake. The third is when the snake now from the scorpion and the snake being on the ground, they're down here on earth, the Scorpio sprouts wings and begins to fly. Right? So now the Scorpio is in its third form, which is either an eagle or a phoenix. Now the eagle is flying above all that which is below. It can see. Of course, the eagle is very famous for having an incredible sense of perception, visual perception. So of course, it's got a bird's eye view, and it's flying above that which is base and low. And the poison that it used to spew is now they've transcended it. They've healed. They're above, and for that reason, Scorpio can reach the heights of enlightenment. But it's very rare, unless a Scorpio truly embodies and looks within and heals. The Scorpio has the ability to go to the heights, because the eagle flies close to the sun, the soul, S-O-L, which is the soul, S-O-U-L. Right? And when it flies very close to the sun, it catches fire and it burns. Everything that it knew, the whole perception of reality completely gets destroyed, and it falls back onto the ground and rises from the ashes anew as a brilliant phoenix, golden bright with fire, and that light is illuminating everybody else. Yeah, but it came through its own destruction, its own ego death. Yeah, so that's the third transformation and the highest aspect of a Scorpio. So it's actually an extremely powerful sign when it overcomes the dark, right? Overcomes that which is veiled. So for that reason, what leads to the transformation? Of course, looking within, plunging into the darkness, but also having the courage to face one's fears, because fear is ruled by Scorpio. Yeah, fear is ruled by Scorpio. And by facing one's fears through learning some of those techniques that are veiled, that are hidden, that are secret, that are taught in the mystery traditions, those are the techniques one can use to transform and get close to the sun and dissolve one's ego. So that is a very important correspondence when it comes to Scorpio. But of course, because now when looking at the wheel of the year, just like we have with all the other zodiac signs, Libra is now, we were talking about how Libra is associated with the fall or autumn. Now things are getting a bit dark, because the sun is now going underneath the earth, as in terms of the days are becoming darker and colder, and now it's getting close to the time of Halloween or Hallowmas, or what Celtics call Samhain, where in Greek mythology Persephone is now heading down into the underworld. So the plains are becoming thin, and the hours of light are reducing, and there's going to be more hours of darkness. And all the scary things, symbolically speaking, because it's dark, comes out, which is where Halloween comes in. So that time of Halloween, that's the next quarter, or cross quarter, which we call, which Scorpio rules. That particular cross quarter is what Scorpio rules. And of course, it's also one of the cherubic beasts. It's the third cherubic beast, which is the eagle, of course, in its highest form. And we've already covered, the bull being the first cherubic beast, the next being the lion from Leo, and now we've gone to the eagle, and of course Aquarius, the human being, is the next cherubic beasts. So that's another aspect of Scorpio. And now the dark side of Scorpio apart from what I've already said, is in psychologically there can be a high element of jealousy involved in Scorpio. And due to this jealousy, because it wants to know that which is veiled, that which it doesn't know, not just in terms of the mysteries of life, but that in terms of everything else and everyone else, it can lead to spying, wanting to know in that way. Um, and of course, if that goes into the head, it can lead to paranoia. Right? So these are some of the darker aspects of Scorpio, apart from that which I've already mentioned. And also, the tarot card associated with Scorpio is, of course, the death card. Lucky number 13 in tarot. And you can see why Scorpio is associated with death now. All right, so I think that covers the sign of Scorpio. I hope this all makes sense. And if you wish to give this video a like, please give it a like and subscribe to this channel. And please share this video with anybody who might be interested in this sort of thing. So thank you, take care, and I shall see you very soon. Peace.